reporting live from the swimming pool. So as I was entering the swimming pool, climbing down on the ladder, I slipped. And I fell on my 2 feet, but I felt my neck jerk. I don't know if that's bad or not. I didn't snap anything, but it hurt. So, yeah. So I'm in the swimming pool yet again. Some people say I come across much differently in the swimming pool than I do in my apartment streams. Blah, 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 blah. I hear some music in the distance. I know when, people want to get videos and removed and get copyright strikes on people's content, they often play music. So, we got 5 inpatients. 5 is a very large number. 5 is a very large number. La 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 la. I don't know if the live stream chat feature is broken, although we got 5 people in the house. They have yet to communicate with the master. So please start asking me some questions. I'm reporting live from the pool. Now we got 3 inpatients. That's a lower number. Somebody says, you're alone in the swimming pool yet again, Andrew. Well, I'm not alone because I have my inpatients with me. I'm not alone. I ain't alone. In this 18 people in the house. We went from 3 to 18. For some reason... Okay, I don't know what happened there. Hey, Daniel. How are you doing? How are you doing, Daniel? Cheers to you, Daniel. Cheers to you. Who's the master? I'm the master. Hey, Moonslay. How are you doing? How art thou, Moonslay? Who's the master? I'm the master. Who's the master? I'm the master. Do you know what sexy men do? They walk around the swimming pool solitary. Do you know what sexy men do? This is what sexy men do. So, I'm gonna take a gigantic step towards making my. Okay, I'm gonna lean back here. Yeah, I'm on the float. This is kind of relaxing here, but I'm always afraid I'm gonna drop my phone in the water, and if I did that, that would be pretty bad, because I would break my electronic device. Splashing in water and petting the dog. These are things that get me out of my fog. Splashing in water and petting the dog. These are things that get me out of my fog. Splash. Somebody says, the bro is kissing us. Yeah. I'm giving you some kisses. Somebody says it's the kiss of death. I hope not. I hope it's the kiss of love. I hope it's the kiss of love. The kiss of love. Erie says, I just threw up. That's that. I'm sorry to hear that, Erie. Maybe you should take some Zofran. I don't know if anybody got that reference, but that's an anti-nausea medication. They give you that if you take a mega regimen of psychiatric medications, and also if you take HIV PrEP. Zofran. So you don't throw up your medications. I needed to plug Zofran there. Oh, Erie's vomiting. She's projectile vomiting. So, my mother had a tendency to be dramatic in my younger and more vulnerable years. And, like, for example, if you would vomit in front of a bagel store, she would embellish the story to such a degree where she'd be like, and he was projectile vomiting and vomiting everywhere. I don't know what my point is. I guess the point is she's dramatic. Also, yeah, there was a story about how I farted at a hockey game. And apparently I was at a New York Islanders game and I farted. And one of the people in front of us said, ooh, let's say the guy's name was Eddie. Ooh, Eddie, did you fart? It smells so bad, I could almost taste it. And my mother would always retell and embellish that story to how I farted. And I think it was because they would feed me bagels in my childhood, and bagels made me gassy. Maybe I have a gluten allergy. I don't know. Gordy says, I love a good fart story. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't we all? Don't we all? What are some other good stories? I don't know. I've got some stories here and there. Somebody says, turn to the side. It's all gray. I don't think so. I think it's just the sun. I think it's just the sun in my hair. Maybe it is gray. No, I don't think so. Maybe it is. Well, let's get me out of the sun a little bit and see if my hair really is gray. I think it's the way the sun is making my hair appear. Maybe it is graying though. Maybe I need to get some Just for Men and put it in my hair, some hair coloring. I know they say dyeing your hair red or blue or purple is for punk rocker is for people in their 20s. Maybe I'll dye my hair purple if I go gray. Gordy says, I see a few gray hairs, but it's just the way things go. Some women like the salt and pepper look. As long as there's women that like it, then I'm good to go. I got a few grays, but it's not as bad as you think. Hey, I could have been dead at 22, you know? And I wasn't. I was not dead at 22. So I can't complain about a few grays. Erie says on the side it's pretty gray. All right. Someday, if you live long enough, you're gonna have gray hair too. So, and you could always dye gray hair. At least it's not receding. Some ladies like gray hair. I'm a distinguished older gentleman. I'm a distinguished older gentleman. So how was your guys' days? How was your days? How were your days? Guys, how were your days? How was your day? Wow. I can't even put together a sentence in English anymore. Guys, how was your day? Somebody says, some people age faster. I think it's genetics. It also could be stress. It also could be stress. You know, I've been through a lot of stress and isolation and trauma. So that obviously ages you. You know? I've suffered tremendously, and that obviously ages you. It's like the President of the United States, you know. You look at the before photo, you know, when he was just getting into office, then you look at the 4 year later photo, and they usually have gray hair and have aged tremendously because it's a high-stress job. Somebody says, you know, so I guess I compared myself to the President of the USA. Somebody says Trump didn't go gray. He's dyeing his hair, obviously. Gordy, he's dyeing his hair. I have a suspicion if he didn't dye his hair, he would be gray. Could be wrong, but I think that's a fair suspicion. A fair suspicion. So what are your people's thoughts? What are your thoughts about Iran and U.S. attacking nuclear sites in Iran? Any thoughts on that? Speaking of Trump. We'll see if they retaliate. We'll see what happens. But obviously, war is bad. Nobody wants war. La 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 la. All right. Anybody still here? Apparently not. War is bad. It makes me sad. Why are we at war when people are dying? Dying. I start to feel... I don't know. Criticisms. Everybody is all critical, and they give me their criticism. Criticism. Criticisms. All right. I guess I'll go back to listening to some music. You impatients are boring me today. I'm gonna go back to some music. And besides, I think my mother's about to come outside and say, "Me and my stepfather want to go in the pool." And the moment that happens, I'll have to jump and get out of the pool. I'll have to be like, "You own the pool. You have the authority over the pool." So, hey Meva, how art thou? How art thou, Meva? Boop, 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 boop. People like my orange juice videos. People like my orange juice videos. People like my organic orange juice. I enjoy it. It is tasty. I expect you people to be at my beck and call. I expect you to be at my beck and call. Meva's okay. He's gonna help his bro. Oh no! Oh, I hear some motorbikes in the neighborhood. Erie says, "Do a cannonball." No. La 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 la. Dad wants to know, how is my pool? It's all right. It's nice. It's nice. It's a nice summer day. I'm enjoying the swimming pool. Having a good soak in the swimming pool. So he says, "It's so hot out." Yes, it certainly is. It's certainly hot. Erie saying it's sunny out today too. Yes, the sun. So he says, "You got to dunk your head, bro. Got to dunk your head underwater." No, I shan't. La 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 la. He says, "Why not?" All right, you really want me to dunk my head? You really want me to dunk my head? Then ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. You know, Dead Cop says when he's in the pool, he's got to do some laps. You're like one of these marathon swimmers. I go in for pure relaxation. Erie asks, do I know how to swim? Yes, I took swimming lessons when I was younger. And I have the knowledge of how to swim. Not very good. I mean, I can't swim marathons, but I know how. So, I mean, I'm no Michael Phelps, that's for sure. But who is, really? Besides Michael Phelps himself. Somebody says, I do swimming for pleasure. I do swimming for pleasure, not sport. Somebody says, does your stepfather know you were in the pool? Somebody says, it's time to dunk your head. All right. You want me to dunk my head? I'm blowing some bubbles for you. You ready for it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for me to dunk my head? I'll ask you again. Are you ready for me to dunk my head? And I'll do that. I dunked my head. Taylor Time says, nice, nice. I built the suspense. That's what you got to do. So he says, you feel better, right? I guess so. Black and yellow. What is black and yellow? So it says, hot day, nice to cool off. Yeah. Should I go back to listening to some rock music? Somebody says, I could get a tripod, but, what are you going to do? Somebody says, who taught you how to swim? Well, my mother would bring me to swimming lessons, and I had a swimming teacher at the Levittown Public Pool. And I was taught to swim at the Levittown Public Pool, I believe. I took swimming lessons when I was younger. Did I ever dive off a diving board? I've jumped off a diving board. I don't think I've ever taken a dive. Somebody asks, what time is it in my country? Somebody says, bless you. Yeah, that was a pretty good sneeze. And you know what? Or am I going to have to do it again? No, I'm not going to have to do it again. I thought I was going to have to sneeze again. Yeah, Levittown pools had the really high diving boards, but then I think some people got hurt. So he says, do you feel bad for Iran? No, not really. I just hope we don't have war. Somebody says, based. Erie asks, do I think I'll be bald by next year? I hope not. I hope I have a good head of hair for years to come. Why are you wishing gray hair on me? Why are you wishing baldness on me, Erie? Why are you wishing that on me? Why is she wishing bad things on me? That's nasty. That's nasty. So, Giant Bic Lighter says, gray hair looks good. Gray hair looks good. That's nasty. La 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 la. Yeah, I mean, if I go really gray, I might dye my hair brown again, but it's not too bad. Somebody says, the good thing about being a vegetable mind, the good thing about being schizoaffective is if war does break out, they're not going to really draft you. Somebody says vegetable warfare. It sounds like a song. Somebody asks, how hot is it in Long Island, New York? They say 94 degrees, but it feels like 96 degrees. I don't know if that's true. I'm just taking Giant Big Letter's word for it. It is certainly hot here, though. We got 666 in the house. 6! The Lord said 6! All right. I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream unless you got some more questions for me. But it doesn't appear like you do. And I'm going to go inside. Is everybody okay with that? Somebody asks, what's for dinner? Mi Madre is making, I think, oven pizza for dinner. I don't think it's DiGiorno. I think it's like an organic pizza, but she's going to be making pizza in the oven. And that should be pretty interesting. Pizza pasta. Where's pizza pasta? La 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 la. Erie says, let's just hope your mother doesn't undercook the pizza. Let us hope. Let us hope, Erie. All right, guys. I think I'm going to hit the old dusty trail. I think I'm going to peace out. Pizza, what a life. So the sauce says, you better be nice to your mother, Andrew. Pizza for the pizza face. Pizza for the pizza face. Lots of pepperoni. Pizza for the pizza face. Pizza for the pizza face. That was a weird angle. So I had somebody asks, did I plant the raspberry bush? I don't know what my mother and stepfather did with it. In fact, I didn't even ask. I don't think they planted it, though. I think they might have just given it to somebody. Andrew Koloski reporting live from the swimming pool. This is Andrew Koloski reporting live from the swimming pool. I'm all wet right now. I'm wet from the water. Somebody says, seen anything gnarly in the pool? Well, there's red splatters at the bottom. I think they cleaned it a little bit, though. Somebody says, do you have any pool noodles? Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's what I'm kind of lounging on, these little pool noodles. Somebody says, oh, no, not the noodles. These are like little floats. Somebody says, I like blowing water through the noodles. Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. It's a different kind of noodle that I'm floating on. La 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 la. Somebody says, you're truly living a life of leisure. Maybe not a life of luxury, but a life of leisure is certainly not bad. Somebody says, do you ever swim with friends? No. I really would love to be in the water with a sexy woman, or at least some friends. But no, I don't go in here with anybody besides myself. I would love to, though. So if anybody wants to come over and use the swimming pool with me, it's heated, it's salt water, it's nice. Someone says, will they have a swimming pool in the group home? I can only hope. I can only hope. Somebody says, salt water, dying luxury. My mother likes to swim a lot, so. Somebody says, let's have an inpatient pool party. Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be fun, throwing a pool party. Somebody says, salt water. Mama Maria or Christine, and we're fancy. We're fancy. Taylor wants to know what's my address. I'm not going to be giving out my address over the internet, but if I get to know you, you're surely welcome to come in my pool. All right. All right, I think I'm gonna hit the old dusty trail here. Somebody wants to know, how are things with my parents? I guess they're all right. I mean, I've been getting along with them the past few days, which is good. If you're living at somebody's home, it's good to coexist with them. You know, it's better than hostility. Somebody says, did you tell your mother how crummy her cooking and her pierogies were? No, I did not tell her. I did post it publicly on the internet, but maybe she didn't see. Somebody says, maybe your mother could go learn how to cook at a cooking course. Somebody says, your mother doesn't have time for social media. She certainly has the time for it, but she doesn't really know how to use the computer very well, at least. She does have an idea of how to use the computer. I don't think my mother watches a lot of videos or uses the computer at all. She just kind of sits there with my stepfather watching Fox News. Although she didn't when I was in her part of the house up until 2019, she didn't use the computer very much. In fact, according to her work would complain about how primitive she was when it came to the computer. She didn't know how to navigate. She's really bad, well, according to her, when it comes to the internet and the computer. She's just computer illiterate. Unless she's lying, but I think it's true. Unless it's all one big lie, but I think she really doesn't know how to use the computer very well. And maybe she's like a hacker. Maybe she's like, high tech, but I don't think so. I think my mother just is computer illiterate. But maybe secretly she's like one of these, behind one of these like nefarious hacking groups, and I just have no idea she's living a nefarious double life. Somebody says, your mother at the very least knows how to turn on the Wi-Fi. That would be a real plot twist, finding out my mother actually knew how to use the computer. By the way, I'm responsible for the invention of the internet. I'd be like, wow, I didn't see that one coming. So it says, Christine is a member of the anonymous hacking group. Yes, it's her. All right. So, somebody says, would you like a song to finish? Sure. Splashing in water and petting the dog. These are things that get me out of my fog. Splashing in water and petting the dog. These are things that get me out of my fog. Want to go in the water? Want to go in the water? Want to go in the swimming pool with me and splash around? Want to go in the water? Want to go in the water? Want to go in the swimming pool with me? Clear blue water flowing through my fingers and toes. Watch how it goes. Nobody knows. Clear blue water flowing through my fingers and toes. Watch how it goes. Nobody knows. So I got my recovery group tomorrow. Somebody says, do you pee in the pool a lot? I shared this story yesterday, but I'll share it again for TB. I try not to. I remember when I was a child, the other parents would complain because I would always ask to use the bathroom when I was in my friends' swimming pools. So I'd go in there and I would get out and say, can I use the bathroom? And they would say, but they didn't like say pee in the pool, but some people say just pee in the pool. Stop getting out to use the bathroom. Some people just say, just pee in the pool, man. Also, I know in grown-ups, the chemical that turns the water blue if somebody pees in the pool. I remember that too. Somebody says, do any recovery groups? Yeah, I'm gonna be starting a program tomorrow. I'm gonna be starting a mental health recovery program tomorrow. Hopefully it goes well. I mean, pretty much, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for me. It's my first day tomorrow. All right, guys. I think that about does it. All right. Peace out. Somebody says, we're rooting for you. We're rooting for you. Yes.